Hey guys, it's Tiana Marche of Team J Media, and I wanted to follow up from my video the other day where I talked about our perspective of our experiences and how we can sometimes miss the power of our experiences based on the limiting, excuse me, that's not a word, I just made up a word, but the limitations in our minds based on the beliefs that we create based on our perception of our experiences. And I know that's a mouthful and that's a lot to take in, but so often we don't really get the full message or the lesson from the experiences that we go through because we have these misperceptions or misconceptions of what those experiences mean. So case in point, you might have a breakup that you're going through, that you went through, that was very ugly. You may have had some financial hardships or some health scares or some relationships within your family or with friendships that just didn't go the way that you'd expected them to go. So you might be feeling a little bit of disappointment, fear, anxiety, or what have you. And those are all common initial responses. However, they are not the end all be all of the situations and why they occur in your life. The situations occur in our life for many different reasons. We've attracted them through our thoughts, through the words that we've spoken, through learned behavior from our upbringing, or just our everyday environment, the conversations that we're having, the energy that we're allowing ourselves to be aligned with. However, even in those situations that we are subconsciously attracting to ourselves, there is still a more depth perception that is for our greater good, right? So you might be wondering, how does me going through a bad divorce or a financial hardship where now I have to do bankruptcy, or, I'm in the hospital, I have these medical bills, this is an illness that I didn't ask for. Tiana, how did I attract those things to me? And I'm glad that you asked. And I can't give you a concrete answer, but what I can assure you is that if you focus on not what you're going through, but why you're going through, and not why you're going through in terms of a pity party or woe is me or why me, but more of okay, this is happening, this is my present reality. I'm going to choose to not reject the reality, but to embrace the reality, thus embracing the experience of your current situation, which is your current reality. I'm going to embrace that and get the lesson that it has come to teach me. If you've been following me for any amount of time, for starters, you'll know that I'm an author, and I just self-published my first novel based on my life story. And most of those things that I've gone through or had gone through, you could not have told me at the time that I was going through them that they were to teach me something, that they were to work in my favor, right? You could not have paid me any amount of money to believe that, but I assure you that all of those experiences awakened something within me, in my mental space, in my heart space, right? To want to shift my understanding of self, to shift my understanding of the situations that I'd gone through in order to learn how it was advantageous to me in my future, even in my present living, right? Even things that I'm faced with today, I don't look at them and say, oh, I'm having a bad time, or I'm going through a tough period, or, life is just all jacked up right now. I look at it as, okay, I just learned something. So this new follow-up experience is for me to implement the things that I've learned in my previous seasons to help me get through this one, because there's a lesson in this one. So how you're in school and you have a course that you're taking. You go to class every day, you show up, you're on time, you take notes, you raise your hand, you ask questions, right? That's the first stage. The second stage is to be able to study that information and be prepared to take an exam, be it a written exam, an oral exam, or what have you, right? And just stay with me, I'm using an analogy, but all of those steps are necessary to passing the test, which ultimately allows you to pass the course. And if you've ever attended a school, and if you are over the age of 18, you've attended school before, you know that you can't pass the course until you pass the test. To take it back to my initial point about our experiences and them being something to come and teach us something, every single life experience that we go through, whether you are a child or an adult, a male or a female, single or married, broke or wealthy, healthy or sickly, It doesn't matter. It is here to teach you something. But if you reject the experiences because they are uncomfortable, because you don't understand them, because they're pulling on your emotional strings, or you're making you feel like you're going crazy, if you decide to give up in that moment, you are deciding that you want to repeat that course, because essentially you will repeat the course until you learn the lesson. So as I close, I just want to encourage you all to really shift your mindset when you're faced with these challenges, because I assure you, on the other side of that challenge, is triumph. On the other side of that pain is power. On the other side of that fear is favor. So if you just embrace the experiences and seek every day, fight every day to learn the lesson, to implement everything that you've learned throughout that lesson so that you can pass the test and pass the course, you've got it. And it is only then that you will win in everything that you go through. And as I share with a lot of my students, everything that you have or everything that you need to win is within. I'll say that one more time. Everything that you need to win is within. I believe in your power. I believe in your victory. I believe in your experiences. And I know that great things are to come for you. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you, and stay tuned for more videos to follow. Have a great day.